and welcome to Hive State. This series is taking longer than I expected, but we're getting there. Today we're on Pyrus, and well, we're gonna start with Cinder Coil. So let's get to the different background. Yeah. Okay, so like I said, Cinder Coil. This costs 5 energy, and it says destroy all enemy heroes. This card shuts down hero spam decks. A single 5 cost. All of your heroes are gone. Everything you've worked towards, gone. So, I mean, if you're playing hero spam, make sure to maybe get some counter spells or some reversals. Just saying. For 5 energy, you can turn off a deck. I'll take it. Cycling Warmth, 2 energy, plus 2 damage. Then return this to the bottom of your deck. Okay? So for 2, you're dealing 2, and you're not hurting yourself any. It's okay. It's good if you pair it with Aquas, just saying. Syndious Stand, also 2 energy, and this is actually one of my favorite cards in Pyrus. It's cheap, 2 energy, not bad, but it only gets you 1 damage. Okay, and technically for 2 energy, you have to discard an additional 4 cards, or not discard, but you have to shuffle 4 cards back into your deck to make this on par with 2 energy for 4 damage. Which that sounds terrible, but you could look at it this way. This is a wonderful Fury enabler that's also giving you extra damage. So if you're during the battle and you need that little extra push, you're paying 2 energy to turn on Fury and get damage. So I like it for what it does. It also puts stop cards back in the deck, just saying. Keep those instead of charge those. Drago's Fury, also 2 energy for plus 4 damage. Looky there. But it has Fury as well. If you have no cards in hand, double strike. So 2 energy for a lot of damage. If you strictly want the damage and don't care about putting the cards back or don't care about getting Fury, I would say this is better. But Engulfing Embers, 5 energy for 400 B and 6 damage. So subpar B, a little subpar damage actually, but a little above half. Don't use it. For that cost, just don't use it. Fierce Boost, 2 energy, 200 B power, and Fury, if you have no cards in hand, plus 600 instead. So a 2 for 2, not good. A 2 for 6, not bad. Don't know if I like the 2 for 6 with Fury, because then you're top decking, but it can work. Fiery Rage, 3 energy, 200 B, Fury, plus 8 damage. So 3 for 200 is just bad. If you don't have any cards in hand, 3 for 8 damage and 200 B is above mediocre. Take it or leave it. Fire Boost, 2 energy, 400 B. This is just an on-par boost. Fire Vortex, 6 energy for 6 damage. Not good. 6 energy plus Fury for 12 damage. It does what it should do base. I mean, it'll work in Fury decks, but there's cards I would use instead of it. Fireball is a 1 for plus 3. Actually not bad. 1 should be 2, 1 extra damage. I like dealing with the low damage stuff sometimes, because if you're just like spending a little bit of energy for a little more damage, you're whittling them down just that little bit more that might matter later. It can work. Furious Blast, 3 energy for 6 damage. That's good. That's on par. And then Fury, if you have no cards in hand, it bounces back to your hand. So it's a card that turns off Fury. But you can play it again. So if you have enough energy, actually, yeah. If you have enough energy and you've already won the battle, you can just go plus 3 or plus 6, however many times you can pay the 3 energy cost. So it's actually not too bad. Not for an energy boost, or that comes back. Did I say energy boost? I meant damage boost, not for a damage boost that comes back. Hot Potato, 2 energy to play it. And it's just removing enemies, Bakugan's Baku Core, and negate its effect. That's not too bad. If your opponent's winning because of the Baku Core, this is a 2 energy cost to shut it down, and it'll often turn off your opponent's domination. Is that right? Yeah. So that's good. But the kicker, you return the core to the field. So if it's a core that really helps out your opponent, like let's say you're facing a Green Fist deck, or maybe they needed that magic shield on there for that plus, I don't know, 600 Bs. I don't know. But you both turn it off, know what it is, and you place it back where it's easier for you to land on it. Not bad. Impact Lazer, 3 energy, 7 damage. It's just above par. It's only 1 above, but it's above. Implosion, 6 energy, destroy an enemy energy card. To be blatantly honest, I'm currently testing energy destruction with this, so I don't know how well it's going to be. 6 for 1 is not good. 6 for 2 if you have Fury, that's pretty good, I believe, because it's like 3 energy each. Losing 2 energy seems super strong, but I'm iffy on this card specifically, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Inferno. Actually, I'm going to make another little note on that. I said we'll see how it goes. Stick around. I'll do a deck profile if it ends up being good or bad, so I can tell you my experiences, so that'll come up. Inferno, 1 energy, okay, plus 2 damage for each Pyrus on your team. So if you're running 1 Pyrus, this card is on par. If you're running 3 Pyrus, that is 1 energy for 6 extra damage. You can do that turn 1 if you're playing mono Pyrus. So you're probably not going to be stopped turn 1. And that's just 6 extra cards off the top of their deck. I think it's usable. In the right decks, of course. Anytime something is usable, it's always just in the right deck. But you get me. Inferno Wings. It's the card I like better than a card I complimented earlier. I think this is the better Hot Potato. It's 3 energy. It's more expensive. But you're also getting 300 B, which is not good. It is half of par, but it's just a little bonus. Because you're also removing all Baku Core, I can't speak. You're also removing all Baku Cores enemy Bakugan hold and negate their effects. So with Inferno Wings, you're getting plus 300, which isn't great, but you're also removing everything that they've gotten core-wise, not only from them, but from their team. So this card really hurts Chaos. Just saying. Lava Boost, 6 for 9. It's actually not good. Should be 6 for 12. I mean, it'll work in a pinch, I guess. 4 for 7. Should be 4 for 8. Also not my favorite. Meltdown. This is the single version of the card we talked about earlier. 3 energy, destroy an energy card. If you're playing against Ventus, a lot of these feel a little bit moot. But if you pair this with Ventus, destroy your opponent's energy, add energy of your own, you'll almost always get your energy effects. I like stopping my opponents from doing what they want to do. I think it could work. Meteoric Lance, 5 energy for this card, plus 11 damage. It's just above curve. Might of Syndius. You know, I think I misspoke earlier. I said that one card was my favorite. I believe this may be my favorite. Might of Syndius is 2 energy for plus 1 damage. Not good. But it's also like a flip card. This is the closest we get to cards like Low Bridge back in the base game, where it changes the victory condition. This turn, the victor's decided by the highest damage instead of B power. I love this card with the Pyrus Max Star Ultra. Just gonna leave it at that. Molten Helix, 4 energy for 2 damage and double strike. 4 energy for double strike. not too shabby. There's a better card that comes later that I can't talk about right now because it's not the set we're reviewing. But the fact it gives you 2, it's 4 for 4 in Double Strike, really. It's interesting. Power Ritual, card that combos great with Chaos. I believe I talked about this in the video. 1 energy, plus 1 energy for each Baku core that your Bakugan holds. This card will change from being garbage to good depending on how much you've done in the game. Again, combos well with Chaos. Pyrus Strike, 2 energy for this card, plus 3 damage. Not good. If it's Pyrus, plus 6 damage. Better. 2 for 6. It's like the other 2 for 6. So if you're running both, hey, you can run both. I don't know if you'd want to run both, but you can. Sifting Ashes, 1 energy. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. It helps you pick and choose the cards that you need. If you're comboing it with Darkus, well, you're discarding cards. You might be getting free plays. If you're playing some Fury, you're getting closer to Fury because you're not increasing your hand size. However, in saying that, once you have Fury, this card is just garbage. It'll go straight into your energy zone. So, draw 2, discard 2. Not good if you don't have more than, or if you have less than 2 cards in your hand. So, I rambled there a bit. Song of Fire. I love this card. This card gets out a lot of good cards. So many cards that are 5 energy, you can pull out on turn 3 because of this. Also, in that video I talked about earlier. But just 3 energy, 5 damage. Let's talk about Talon Slash. 3 energy for 4 damage. If the Bakugan's damage becomes 10 or greater, draw a card. Now this, actually, if you watched my Darkus faction, whatever this video is called, I talked about C and how I believe it only works whenever damage has been dealt, like actually flipped off the top of the deck. And I think this kind of confirms what I was talking about in that last video, or 2 videos ago, whichever it is. 2 videos ago. Yeah, it was 2. Because this just says when the damage becomes 10 or greater, draw a card. It doesn't say when you've dealt 10 damage, draw a card. So, it's a draw. Moving to evolutions. Diamond Dragonoid. Costs 6 to evolve. 900 B power, 9 damage. And if you land on a Flaming Fist, it's an additional 500 B power and 5 damage. So it boosts a bit of both if you hit that Flaming Fist. Otherwise, the B power is a hint weak for turn 6, but it's still a good card. Diamond Fangor also costs 6, 1200 Bs, and 6 damage. That's that. Hyper Hydrus. This is a very blurry card, and I apologize. Again, I've said it in past videos. I'm going to say it again. I had originally planned on waiting to shoot this whenever the official scans come out. I got impatient and wanted to go ahead and do it. So some of the scans aren't great, but links in the description to where I pulled all of the card images from. So credit where credit is due. Hyper Hydrus, 3 energy. When you play an action card on this, it gets plus 2 damage. It does kind of the reverse of what the Aquas one does, and I care less about it because of it. I believe there's another Hydrus that I would prefer, if I could be mistaken. We'll see. 800B, 4 damage. Hyper Hydrus Ultra, 2 energy, 600B, 6 damage. 2 energy to turn it into an RLS starter on both sides. That's okay. Hyper Maxitar Ultra. For some reason, I've never pulled this card. Actually, no, that's a lie. I have now. For the longest time, after boxes of boxes, I could not pull this card. Ordered it off eBay, then I pulled some. But I like it. It's 4 energy to evolve to a 900B. I'll take that. It only has 4 damage. Not the best. It kind of flips from the original a bit. But if you land on a Flaming Fist, you get plus 10 damage. Plus the damage the Flaming Fist is giving you. So this can easily be stand up 20 damage. With the card we talked about earlier, flip the victory condition, 21 damage right off the bat. And that's if you don't have double strike. Just saying. Hypertrox, 2 energy. Victor, +2 energy. I don't know how I feel about this. It's 600 B power, so Victor is not too difficult. 2 damage, not great. The 2 energy that you gain, especially with Pyrus, whenever you're wanting to boost your energy or boost your damage after you've won, I guess that 2 could help kind of fill stuff like that. It could possibly be worked around. There may be better options, but if you like the Pyrus Strike, you might can use it. Hyper Dragonoid, 1 energy to evolve it. Okay. 400 B, so after the energy, it is baseline B power for a Bakugan, just a core Bakugan. 6 damage, so decent damage when you land on a Flaming Fist. Plus 300 B and plus 3 damage. So it's alright for a turn 1 evolution, I guess. Hyper Mantanoid Ultra, 3 energy, 800 B power, and 5 damage. Does what it does. Hyper Serpentine Ultra. This is a fun card. I like this card quite a bit. I actually used this in a deck profile I did a while back. 2 energy, 500 B power, so the Bs aren't great. But, I mean, for 2, it bumps it a little above average. 7 damage, which is nice. I'll take that for 2. But it's Fury effect. If you have Fury with this card, it's a turn 2, 1500 B power card, and the damage jumps up to 12. That's a lot for both stat. I like this card. Titan Fangor, 5 energy, 800 B power, 3 damage. If you land on a Green Fist, so it works in the Green Fist decks, plus 2 damage, and double strike. So the 800 stays the same at 5 damage, or at 5 energy, which is a bit weak. But the damage jumps to a 10, which, hindsight, that's also a little weak. But you get double strike, so every point you pump into it's 2 points pumped into it, so maybe that can help. Titan Hydrus Ultra, 6 energy. Ah, yeah, this is the Hydrus I was talking about that I liked better. 700 B power, so the Bs are pretty weak on this. 7 damage. The damage is just okay. But if you win with this card, destroy an enemy energy card. So you're slowly breaking what your opponent can do with this. As long as you can win with it. You gotta win with it first. And turn 6, 700 B, might be a little harder to win, but we'll see. Ooh, the creme de la creme. Titan Dragonoid. 5 energy, 1000 Bs. It's good. If you have a Dan, 5 energy, 3000 B. That's crazy. 6 energy, or not energy, I keep calling it transposing energy and damage, but 6 damage, but it has double strike, so 12 damage. It's so solid. It's an elite for a reason. It's really good. Moving into the flip cards, we have some of the basics. Block Aquas, 0 cost to block Aquas. Block Growth, 1 cost for Aquas and Ventus. That's one of its double counters. Block Outsiders, 3 to stop everything not Pyrus. It's basic. Stops itself for 0 if you do block Pyrus, which this is actually one of my favorite 0 cost blocks 1s, because Pyrus can pump out quite a bit of damage. So this one, I like it pretty decent. Granted, it mostly depends on what meta you're playing in. It also has the 0 for Ventus, because Pyrus and Ventus is its 2 big blocks. Fierce Termination. This one's good, especially if you're playing Fury. 4 energy, stops all non-Pyrus, just like the other. But if you have Fury, it's free, so good. Lava Flow, free for +1 energy. Okay, I kind of wish it was +2. I feel like that would have made it go from, I don't want to fill that spot in the deck, to, hey, let's run it. But it's there. I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to defend it, and that's never good. Pyrus Dominance, 5 energy, it's expensive. Stop all non-Pyrus, so it's a stop card, that's good. And destroy an energy card. It won't stop things often, because it costs 5. But the fact that you're, again, hurting your opponent's energy, it might have a purpose. Spark, draw a card and discard a card. Do not like this card. It takes up your energy to play it. You can only play it when you're taking damage, and you're taking more damage because of it. That's all the flip cards. Moving into heroes. Barbara Kuzo. 3 energy to player, and she has Fury. At the end of the turn, if you have no cards in hand, draw a card. At first, I was super excited about this card, and I liked this card, because I thought, well, if I have 2 or 3 on the field, I can just play those 2 or 3 cards each turn, and then draw them back every turn. It doesn't work that way. The way the batch works, where they would all enter the batch, their effects do not trigger simultaneously. So as soon as the first one triggers, the second one no longer works. She's a 1 or 2 of to me. Bill Kuzo, in my opinion, a bit better. 2 energy. When an opponent plays a flip card, you can draw a card. This one, in my testing, though it doesn't sound as good as the other, I have found that in most decks, this works better. If your opponent stops damage, you get a little extra card off of it to try to keep dealing damage later. Dan Kuzo, 4 energy for an overpowered card. When you open a Bakugan, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's not a flip card, you may play it for free. Bottle of Wishes on legs. Every single open, you can get a free card. It's cheeky. There's nothing negative I can say about this card. Oh, it costs too much. It doesn't. Like, its cost is pretty cheap for its effect. I feel like a lot of decks would still play this at a 6 cost. Like, it's just really good. Durandane, the opposite of Dan. I mean, it works in the right deck. I like the fact it makes a Pyrus attack for 5, so just for playing it, you're dealing 5 damage automatically. That's cool. But it costs 11. A lot of decks aren't going to hit that 11. So unless you're cheating it out with him, then I don't know. But it does give double strike to all your Bakugan, so I guess there's that. 5 energy. When you open a Bakugan, plus 3 energy for the turn. This card's pretty cool. It's an energy ramp in red. It's temporary, and you don't get to keep it. But if you only need it for that turn, 3 energy just for opening your Bakugan, that jumps you quite a bit. I like it. Mac, again, because I love this playstyle, one of my favorite heroes in this set. The turn you play this, victor's determined by damage instead of beat power. Cool. Your Bakugan have plus 2 damage. Cool. It's like the other one, but it stays in play and just helps a bit. It's more expensive than the other, but it gives you a constant 2 damage. I'm cool with it. And then we're on Marco. 3 energy for this hero. Fury, if you have no cards in your hand, just plus 5 damage to your attacks. It works great in Fury decks, so just the more damage, the merrier. And he's actually the last card in the set. So, I do hope you enjoyed the Pyrus part for this full Bakugan Battle Brawlers set review. Make sure to subscribe and stick around. Ring the bell so you know when the next one comes up. Try to post every, 3 times a week, but here recently, due to life, it's been 2 times a week. So, the next episode will be Ventus, and like I said, make sure to stick around. But whether you do or whether you don't, you'll see me when you see me.